Hey, hi all, welcome back to Prakoso. In this video we're going to talk about, I'm not going to give you the end-to-end flow of a cloning. I'm just going to explain you the main things and how you can, and the concept of the NgRx. Now there is an official website called ngrx.io, and here is the installation path. You need to install these things in your application, that is NgRx and store dev tools. So once you install this, you'll be able to handle or you'll be able to call this particular dev tools in your app.module, and all you need to do you need to use this particular ngrx dev.module. So once you use this, you'll be able to retain max age 25 or anything, last 25 states and all. Okay, that is up to you what you want to retain. So here I'm retaining a data. Here I have a 3 data, I have a cart items, I have a cart data, and I have a add data. Let's say I'm just adding one more data here. See, I've added the add to cart, that is the reducer I've used, and here in the cart items I've added one more thing. To use your reducers, you have to install some of the things. So let me show you what and all you're going to explain. You're going to download, or you're going to use it as a dependency. So in a dependency, you need to use things called as I told you, there tools to check whether you're working fine or not. And these are all things I need to create. And this effects, store, these two things you have to install before you're using NgRx. So let me tell you the use of this. So you just need to here in a app I have created 2 to 3 subfolders which actually define the whole concept about the NgRx. The first thing is an action, second thing is an effect, and third one is a service. Okay, so make sure you're getting my point. So let's start from app module. You need to install, you need to import the 2 things here, that is a store module, effect module, reducers, and meta reducers. So this will be present in a reducers. So you have a 4 folders now. One is action, effects, reducers, as well service. So here in a reducers is nothing but, in my application I have made my application, I'm named as a cart.reducers. Before doing this, you have to declare an actions by using enum. So let's say I am just extending or just importing the action in my actions.ts. Here my action.ts, I have a set of actions. The sum of the actions are copied from JoshMorony, and some of the actions I've written from my own. So let me tell you what all actions I've written from my own. That is add to cart, add address, remove from cart, add to cart array, dump to an array, and update an array. These are all actions. You can give justifications what you're giving or a description of the actions. Here in the first actions, let me explain you one by one, and let's create one more actions, that is remove. So I have not implemented anything to the remove cart, so I'm going to explain that. Let's get what is there in a actually how you're going to create any actions. Okay, so let's say the add to cart action, or this is something triggers when I click on add button. So when I click on this button, that trigger will happen. See, add to cart, this add cart, add items to the cart. This is the same thing I've written, right? So let me tell you, let me say I'm going to give Control C, Control V, Control S, and let me click add now. See, it's going to call this particular thing, right? So this is nothing but it got added one more item here, that is food 02. This is nothing but 2. How many quantity? It's 1. So that is very straightforward. You're going to get in a very easy way once I complete my explanation. Okay, and after that, anyhow, we are going to create one store. We have already created a store, but we are going to create one actions to that store. Okay, so here in add to cart, it's nothing but adding the cart, and add address is nothing but adding an address. For if you go here, if you click add, so you're adding an address here, add address. Okay, So here you can give your own justification, just while you're giving, while you when you want to debug your application, when you want to check your reducers, it would be easy if you give a proper justification, because justification is something is going to come in your inspector. I'm going to explain the add to cart now. So there is one class called add to cart which implement an action. It's pretty much straightforward. The way you implement on init, way you implement other things, other life cycles, you're going to implement action also. There is nothing, there is no external or any other theoretical things in Ionic. This is pretty much same in any of the OOPS language or a OOPS concept, right? So you're going to export a class and you're going to implement something to add some, use somewhere in our application. That's it. So here you implement action, and I'm going to type, create a type in a form of a read only, and I'm going to call this action type. Action type is nothing but this enum. Enum is nothing but it's a combination of constants I have used. Okay, so this enum, it's going to be used throughout my reducers. So that's why I have declared my action types, and these action types will be added or called, and it will be assigned to my type, and I'm going to create a constructor which is going to construct one data variable of type any, which is called as a payload. I know you're getting, this is a bit of confusion, but let me explain you again. This is a cart and this is a enum, that is nothing but action type. The action type, it's got implemented from action, it's acting as a class now. If I say class, there is a constructor, and the constructor will construct an element which is nothing but a payload. What do you mean by payload? This is going to be assigned to the data which I'm passing through. Throughout application I'm using the same variable. I don't want to give any confusion, or I don't want to get into any confusion. So I have used a same variable. This variable will be using as a payload. You're going to get in a next couple of minutes. Okay, so please bear with me because it's going to be a very important concept throughout our application, because entire application what I'm going to complete, it's stood on a NgRx store, because whenever I'm getting a data from an API service, I'm going to dump the data to my store, and the store will take care of all the actions, and my application will be giving a very better performance to me. All the actions together, let me say load data begin, or let me get into add to cart. So this is the actions. When you say action union, you'll be able to access in your reducers. So let's get into reducers. Are very simple. First I'm going to get the actions from my actions folder. These actions I exported, right? I exported as the action union. The same actions I'm going to import in my reducers, right? So once you import my reducers, let me close everything. Here in my reducers I have an interface. It is a data state interface. Data state is nothing but, I hope you know the concept of interface, so I need not to explain again and again. This data state is nothing but an interface, and I'm going to create an initial state of type of data state is nothing but an interface. Interface has all the things which is items, cart items, loading, error, data, count and address. This is enough me to create one cart application. That's it. What I need items. What I need a data. I need a cart items, I need a loading properties, I need a error properties, I need a count properties, I need a address. This is gonna be taken care throughout my application. If you see my first page, what and all I needed, I need a location, that is nothing but address. I need something called data. This is nothing but data and items. So I need something which is going to be impact on my cart array when I click on it, when I change on it. So it's going to be cart array. And I need one global variable which will be acting throughout my application. If I go click here, if I change anything, if I go back, it should be changed in my cart array. It's 10. These are all things taken care by the count, the state here. Each case has its own union. Check here. This is the load begin. Let me get into add cart case. This is an add cart case which is nothing but action type. Action type nothing but it has all the unions I have created in my action. So this action union will be getting to my action type, and action type will be accessible to all the unions, all the actions which I have created in my actions. So add to cart is one of the actions I have created my union in my action. I'm going to access it. That's it. You're done. And here I just, for my debugging purpose, I've used the cart, console here. So let's not use it. So once you create that, you can return something, and you're going to access only the count, and you're going to add the data. That's it. How we are adding? When I click on 2, I have added 6. This is a cart, and count is 5. 5 became 6 because I am adding 1. That's it. You're done with your add cart, and throughout application you can use it. How? Let me tell you. Now you have created the reducers, which is called add to cart, and you handle the case, and this case will be taking it as a data state, and the throughout application you're gonna use it as a data state here. That's it. So add cart is something, we're gonna accept one data. It's not, the data is nothing but a count, and I need not to give any console. Yeah, here just make sure you are importing a store here, and you're going to dispatch something to the store. The word itself, it will define what is dispatch. I did not explain again. So you're going to dispatch this data action to add to cart. Let me tell you what is data actions. Data action is nothing but the loads begin. The load data begin, which I've given in my data actions. If you go my action tab, if you see here, this is on action. This is on action, right? In our case, it is add to cart. So data action, you're gonna access your actions, and you're gonna get the add to cart, and you're gonna pass your data as a data now, right? Add to cart, you're passing it as a data. This note, forget about this, don't worry, because I have copied it from JoshMorony website, and JoshMorony website were explaining about some note, and I've changed from on my own requirement. Now I'm using it as a data, so I made everything as a data. So here in data, I'm going to take a data from my add to cart as a service, and I'm going to put it in my data. And this data, what it actually happens in my backend. Let me get into my tabs on .ts. It's gonna be fun now. Add to cart, I'm going to call this data service, and I'm going to add something, and I'm passing the count variable. Count variable will be accessed this add to cart, and add to cart will be dispatching this thing. How it will dispatch? It will get into my cart reducer, and it will go to my actions. It will check, okay, there is an action, okay, everything works well and good. And once it get the action, it will get into my cart reducer, and once it got an action, it's going to do the relevant or expected behavior of your action. So let's say in my application add to cart, when I say add to cart, my expected behavior should be, it should access all the state, and it should add one more count to the state, right? So let me show you, is the same thing I'm getting it or not. So let me add one more, and you can check here. I have added one ID, and in my add to cart, I made initially I had a count called 4, and it became 5. Let me add one more. Initially my count was 6, and it became 5. It became 6 because I have added one more thing, right? It has accessed only the state, only the count in a state, and it updated that count. Isn't it cool, guys? So whenever I add anything, so it's gonna add the count here. So this is what is there, guys. So just go with the theoretical part, and I hope by the next video you're going to get the concept. Once you get the concept, we're gonna create our own reducers. Here we have only for a plus now, we don't have anything to minus, so that's what we're gonna build. But to build that, you have to have a good knowledge on a reducers. So I request you to get into this concept and do some kind of R&D and keep practicing. So, and by the next video, I think you'll be able to follow the video, as well as you can do your own homework. Okay, thanks for watching this video, and do not forget to share and subscribe this video, so that most of your friends and my friends can get the benefit of it. Thank you so much, and bye bye.